Hello everyone. Today we are going to have an overview of the research paper packet. The research paper packet is located on my Moodle page at the bottom under the Opposing Viewpoints research paper section. Also in this section you will find excellent resources such as websites for grammar, which I am telling you should not hesitate to use, as well as the research paper packet and several screencasts that will really be of help for you during this process. If at any time you need something repeated or you're confused about the process, look at the screencasts and they really will lead you in the right direction. Today we're going to look at the research paper packet. So we need to upload this file and it will come up in a PDF format. So let's see what's in this packet. The first page is an overview of what is a research paper, and it gives you some details in case you're really a little bit confused as to what you're supposed to be doing. The next page is just important terms. Sometimes I might use a word or a phrase or a term that you're a little bit confused about, and that information is listed right here. So you might want to just take a look at that and make sure you're familiar with all of these terms. Next page is developing a research strategy, and this is something that everyone really should be doing on their own, but Noodle Tools is an excellent resource in order to help you get organized. So this is something to skim over as well. Page 5 is resources for students. However, this page really applies to literary analysis papers, which you will be using in the future. Also, there's a page which gives you a bit of an overview of online materials, magazines and journals, and other things you might use for research. Now page 7 gets to the most important part, evaluating information, a how-to guide. We're going to go over this in detail in class, but this is something that you should refer back to when you're determining what you want to put in your research paper. Another page contains thesis statements. If you're still having trouble with how to write a thesis statement, this will help you. Again, themes and big ideas, another page that will really guide you in creating your own themes and big ideas when doing research papers. Source cards are a way of organizing your different sources and keeping track of where you're finding your information. Now, you can actually make the source cards on Noodle Tools, but this is a great way to keep organized as well. And this gives you some information as to how to do the source cards. This also contains works cited information, so you might want to reference this before you work on your works cited page. So now page 13 has a very important page, the outline. The outline is something that is required of the process, and in the end it is going to look something like this. However, it is going to include quotations. Now, you'll see later on Noodle Tools, it's very easy to make an outline and just drag your quotations into it from your note cards. And if that's confusing, we'll go into that a little bit more later. However, you can notice on the outline, we've got the MLA format at the top, we've got a title, we've got a thesis statement, and then we have the different Roman numerals to delegate the different paragraphs. Moving on, the note card. This is also something that's mandatory of a research paper. And you are going to be making these note cards on Noodle Tools. However, this is what they will look like. Every note card is going to have a little phrase up here, short Q or long Q, and that just means it's a short quotation or it's a long quotation. A long quotation is any quotation that takes up more than 4 lines in your paper, and it has to be formatted differently. Pearl's Connection to Nature. This is from the book, The Scarlet Letter. So this is just a heading which will tell you where it needs to go in the paragraph and also give you the topic of the quotation. Roman numeral 1b is where it will go in your outline. So the quotation is provided as well as where this came from, the proper citation. Please make sure that you do include that, otherwise you're going to have a difficult time going back and finding where you got your information. So those are the note cards. Moving on, here's some more information about short quotations and long quotations. If you're confused as to what is a short quotation and what is a long quotation, you really want to look this page over. Moving on, a very important page is the works cited page. This is part of the process as well. So there are some important rules you can look over, some different information when you're dealing with certain types of publications. You do have to format it differently. Here is a completed works cited page. Now, Noodle Tools can also help you develop this works cited page, but in the end, when you attach it to the back of your paper, this is what it needs to look like. So notice it has works cited at the top, and it has your last name followed by the page number. And if you're confused about how to do this, we will go over this in more detail. And the final pages just contain information about writing expectations, what a strong paper will look like, and perhaps it answers some questions you might have. And the final 2 pages are that same peer edit form that we always fill out in class. However, it's important for you to have it because you may want to fill it out yourself and give yourself a really good edit before you turn in your final copy. If you look over this research packet and you thoroughly go through it, you will be successful with your research paper. Please take the advice that is provided within this packet, and you will end up having a very beautiful, well-written research paper. You can take a look. The last page is the first page of a research paper. Notice the MLA heading, the title, which is not in bold or underlined, and the page number at the top. This is the first page of what your research paper should look like. Obviously, it's going to be a different title, but it should look similar in format. Good luck and happy researching.